MIA. Whole for not talking to my brother after he tried to invite himself on my girls' trip? So this happened on Tuesday night, April 29th. I was having dinner with my mom and casually told her I'm going on a girls' trip next week. She was just being a mom and told me to be careful. My older brother, 29 male, didn't really say anything during dinner, so I just finished eating and went to my room. About an hour later, my mom called me to the living room. She was talking to my brother. I didn't think much of it until he suddenly said, "I'll come with you on the way to the girls' trip." I was confused and told him, "No need. I'm taking my car. I'll be fine." But he kept telling my mom it's okay, he'll just drop me off and then go stay at his friend's place for the week. I didn't say anything after that, but honestly, the whole vibe of the trip already felt off. I didn't want to start a fight, so I just stayed quiet. I didn't talk to him after that night, and still haven't. About myself, I'm 23 and working as a data analyst in a reputed company. My brother is 29, doesn't have a job, and honestly has a habit of trying to use my plans as a way to get out or do something fun. It always feels like he's inserting himself just because he's bored, not because he actually cares. Now I'm being told I should talk to him or explain why I didn't want him to tag along. But I didn't even argue, I just left it. So, AITA for not talking to him after all this and not forcing a conversation? Comments. Commenter 1. No thanks. I'm taking my car or riding with X. This is a girls only thing. Commenter 2. Not really an but you do need to tell him, no, and not let him drag you into an argument. You don't owe him an explanation. It is a girls' trip with your friends. He is neither a girl nor a friend. That's it. Commenter 3. Yeah, you need to say something. You're an adult, and you need to advocate for yourself. Commenter 4. NTA. You don't owe him an explanation. You are a grown adult capable of making your own decisions. It's 2025. Women don't need chaperones anymore. Update. 3 days later. Hi again, everyone. Thank you so much for all the support. I wanted to share an update and clarify a few things. After everything happened, my mom didn't say much, but deep down, even she didn't want my brother tagging along on my girls' trip. My dad actually supported me and even gave me some money to enjoy my time off. My parents didn't encourage my brother's behavior. In fact, they told him clearly that just because he's bored doesn't mean he can join my plans. So I really appreciate them for having my back quietly. To be honest, my brother isn't a bad guy. He's not a golden child or anything. Our parents treat both of us equally. I love him deeply. He's the same person who helped me with homework when I was a kid, who taught me how to bake cookies, and who has always been there in little ways. And yes, he knows it's really hard for me to say no to him. Right now, he's going through a rough patch in life, and maybe he just needed a break. But I also needed this trip for myself. It's something I planned with my girls to recharge, not to take care of someone else. Still, after this trip, I've decided to take another week off and plan something just for my family because I want him to have a break too, in a space that feels right. I may not be the perfect sister, and I'm still learning how to set boundaries with love. But I'll never abandon him. That said, I've realized that sometimes family isn't everything respect is. And when your family treats you with respect, choosing them isn't a sacrifice. It's an act of love. Thank you all again. Your words helped more than you know. Comments. Commenter 1. Which of your friends does he want to be with? OOP. None. Face with tears of joy. He treats them like sisters. He's having a rough time. He wants to go out, but my parents aren't okay to send him out alone. So he tried using me as a pawn. Commenter 2. This may be rude and I apologize beforehand, but does he have any mental or developmental problems that make it that he can't go out or socialize on his own? Especially when he mentioned staying with a friend of his. Maybe I misread though. Oh, no, he isn't mentally ill. He's a straight A student. But when he completed his master's and started looking for a job, he did stress a lot about his work life. He became a bit more aggressive, and my parents thought if he go out without anyone to help him cool down, he might get into any disturbance act, and he might suffer a bit more, thinking he's really the problem. And his friend does live in the place where we were going for the trip, so he thought it's okay to tag along with me. I was the problem for not talking to him, but I thought it might hurt him even more if I say no to him. But he understood now and said maybe he just overreacted. Heartsuit. Commenter 3. He's 29. Why treat him like an unstable 5-year-old? OOP. My parents are scared that if he gets into any unnecessary disturbance, and it might be the biggest drawback for his future. And it isn't unstable, but more likely to give some time for himself without making him feel like he's the problem. Has OOP's brother received therapy? OOP. He did go for therapy and they said it was just a phase and he needs some time for himself. Commenter 4. You may not have all these answers, but how long ago was that phase? And I don't think time for himself would translate in, you can't go out unless your sister babysits you. This all seems rather harmful. OOP. He took care of me as a teenager. He does have breakdowns because of me, and I think it's my time to take care of him when he's hitting the bottom.